That's nice. Yeah. You know, maybe I'm a little overdressed this afternoon, but I wanted to look real nice. This is Pa's favorite dress. I'm wearing my low-cut cocktail dress. You like it, sweetie? Yeah. I don't know who that fella is with that cute sweatshirt, but he's got kind of a Sunday school face with Saturday night ideas. Yeah. Pa loves this dress. He calls it my atomic dress. He says every time I lean over, there's about 40% fallout. You wouldn't think he'd notice things like that anymore, would you? Yeah, he's changed a lot since his days of wine, women, and song. I mean, now it's more like one root beer, Medicare, and Lawrence Welk. I can't believe how Pa has changed. One night he came home and he said, "Sex is for the birds." I said, "Really, Pa?" Tweet, tweet. Yeah, well, I said to Pa, this year before we go out to Arizona, you got to get your eyes checked. Maybe some new glasses would help so I don't need to read road signs all the time. So we did, he got an appointment. Of course, I have to go along with him, you know. So we get into the eye doctor, and the doctor says to Pa, "I want you to read that chart on the wall over there." Pa said, "Out loud?" He said, "Of course, out loud." So Pa's going, capital M, capital N, capital O, capital Z. What a dingbat. But I got to think of that day, you know, how many times we worry so unnecessarily, and many things don't even happen that we've worried about. Isn't that right, people? And that just proves it, because we got through all the eye tests and everything, and then the doctor said, after a while, "I'll call you and we'll have consultation in my office." So pretty soon he called and he said, "Come on in now. I got ready to talk to you a little bit about this." And he said, "I'm awful sorry to tell you, but in your right eye, you are legally blind." I tell you, I was really glad it was legal. Pa does so many illegal things, you know, illegal parking, illegal. But he said, in your right eye, you got double vision. So see how it all worked out. I was relieved about that. That's worked out. And we did have nice neighbors. I don't mean to say that out in Arizona, but they're different. See, Pa and I live in kind of the working class people, and the parks are way out there. But so around us are mostly Hispanic people. They talk kind of different. They thought I talked funny, and I thought they talked funny. So in the morning, we couldn't understand each other. So that we would just go, woo-hoo. But on my right side of my house, I sit out in the carport a lot and play my guitar and visit with my neighbors and smell the orange blossoms. And I got to tell you that I got 10 orange trees in my backyard, and they're so big it only takes 8 to make a dozen. That's not really. That's the truth if I ever told it. Yeah. Well, where was I? I was telling you about my neighbor. So to the right side of my house is a nice fellow from Michigan. He's a Polish fellow. We visit quite a bit. He said, "Yeah, Granny, I'm Polish, but I married a 100% Norwegian girl." Well, I said, "Isn't that nice? That's real nice." He said, "Her folks really wanted her to marry a Norwegian fella, and my folks wanted me to marry a Polish girl. And they said it would never work. But we fooled them. We've been married 16 years and very happy." Then he kind of sobered up, but he said, "You know, Granny, sometimes I think she's getting tired of me." "Oh, no, no." I said, "Don't say that." "Oh." He said, "Yeah." He said, "Boy, last week I was just sick about it. I couldn't find my car keys. I had to look all over the house. Finally, I had to look in her purse." And he said, "Guess what I found in there? A bottle of Polish remover." That's kind of deep. Yeah. But I think of you bus people going here and there, and I know you go to Branson. Heck, I'd like to live in the fast lane too, but I married a speed bump. And you got to do things while you can. I admire you getting on that bus. You know, like there's a friend of ours here in Pipestone, 97 years old, big birthday deal here in town. And his kids came home. He's got a very successful lawyer son out in New York. He came. And he said, "Dad, what would you like for your birthday?" And he said, "Just name it, you're going to get it." And the grandpa, he couldn't. "I don't need shirts. I don't need this. I don't." And he said, "Well, come on, Dad, think of it." He said, "Well, I always did want to go to Las Vegas, but it's too late now." The heck it is, he said. We'll go to Las Vegas. Come on now, Pa, we're going to go. So they got on a plane and they went out to Las Vegas. And I guess they just were in the first casino. And what a kick, I guess, Grandpa, he won, yeah, he just played one slot machine and he won $200. He got so excited he wet his pants. Oh, dear. Well, Pa said that could have been worse. He could have won $400. But there's lots of adjustments in life, aren't there? When I think of all the adjustments, I mean, first we probably had to get teeth, and then the glasses and the hearing aids, and oh, that's something all the time. I was thinking the other day, and this is a fact now, girls. When I married Pa, he did not snore one bit. No. Now he snores up a storm. I mean, I even worry about structural damage to the house. I can't get any sleep when I sleep with Pa. No, so now we got separate bedrooms, and I don't tell him where mine is. Yeah, I go sit out in the air, you know, like I say, Pa's watching television, and I sit out in the carport and play. And I listen to the radio a little bit when I do the dishes, you know, but I have one station I like out there. They don't play any commercials. It's just pretty music from the 30s and the 40s, kind of romantic music like, "You have left me, I'm so lonesome I could die." That's not my problem, see. Pa's sitting right there. So one day I was out in the carport and I decomposed a song about Pa. I'm going to sing it for you. It's called "How Can I Miss You When You Won't Go Away." You can't hardly wait, can you? That's a fact. You know, Pa and I, we came in from the farm, and it didn't time out just right. So I got in that little house on Halloween last year, and I saw the kids running around getting their costumes on, and I says to Pa, "I got an idea. Why don't we put a costume on and a mask, and we'll go out. We don't need to ask for treats, but we'll knock on the door and introduce ourselves to some of our new neighbors. Wouldn't that be nice, Pa? Huh? That'd be nice?" Oh, no, he couldn't go. He couldn't go. He had to watch 2020. Party pooper. I thought, what the heck, I'll go by myself. Sometimes you got to do that, don't you, girls? So I got my costume on and my mask, and I went out by myself. I didn't go far. I just went to our own house. I knocked on the door. Took Pa forever to come, you know. Shuffle, shuffle, pokey, pokey. Finally, he peeked out, and I said, "Trick or treat, handsome fella. Get on out here, and I'll give you a hug and a kiss, and I'll make you feel real good." Pa said, "Well, that takes care of the trick. Where's the treat?" Have you noticed our big high-rise we got in our town here? We were proud of that. Pa and I, our little house didn't get ready on time, so we spent about 8 months in that high-rise, and very nice, but I didn't go for too much because I came from a great big farm kitchen. I got a little bitty kitchen over there, you know, and Pa underfoot all the time, drove me nuts. Yeah, especially when I'm cooking. He's in there, in and out of the refrigerator, in and out. And in. Pa, I said, "There is no change since 3 minutes ago that you looked in that refrigerator." He said, "I know, but I've lowered my standards." Yeah. Pa likes to listen to the Twins game, you know, and it's on high. Oh, just oofta. One day I said, "Pa, I believe I need a little space. I mean, if you could just go somewhere and listen to that darn ball game, I would like to sit and crochet a little bit." So, well, he said, "I didn't know it bothered you so much. I can go down to the manager's office. He always invite me to come to in his little apartment and listen to the Twin game on television." "I'll do it," he said. Well, I had a lovely afternoon, and Pa did too. I think he came home so excited. He said, "The Twins won, the Twins won." Oh, he said, "That was fun." He said, "That manager, he is some fella, some fella." I said, "Pa, what do you mean that manager is some fella?" I said, "You know what he told me?" I said, "No." He told me he's had an affair with every lady in this high-rise except one. Well, I said, "It must be that snooty Mrs. Peterson on 5th floor." I'm not bragging about my guitar playing because I actually only know 2 chords. One is C major and the other one isn't. But I'm going to play my tune now about Pa here. How can I miss you if you won't go away, far, far away from me? How can I grieve if you'll never leave? How can I shed a tear when you're always here? Absent makes the heart grow fonder, so they say. Let's see if that adage still holds true today. 1, 2, 3, and how can I miss you if you won't go away? I mean, even to the post office? Far, far away from me. You like that one? Sure. Well, Pa doesn't like me to sing at home. He said I sound like a canary in heat. So while I'm hot, I'll play another tune. Here's another song you might not like. Yeah, Pa says to me, face it, people do not appreciate your voice. It's old, it's out of date, extinct. I said, Pa, it doesn't. This is kind of about my condition. I wanted to lose weight before I came here at this pretty theater, but darn, I don't know. It seems like every season I gained a little weight. Gained 15 pounds over Christmas eating with those grandkids. I didn't know I had gained 15 pounds till I started coming out of the shower bath. And my feet were still dry. Well, okay, this is kind of a sad song. Pa said it's pathetic, but who cares? About my condition. There's nothing left for me. I ain't what I used to be. I live in misery among my souvenirs. My hair has got a streak. I tried being blonde last week. I did. Both my legs kind of squeak, and yet they give me transportation. What the heck? My figures changed somehow. What made the boys yell, wow? It's all behind me now, among my souvenirs. Wow. You're such a nice audience, you really are. And we should weigh every day. Isn't it a darn nuisance? I mean, the trouble is, first you got to train the scale where to sit. Mine weighs a pound more on the shag rug. And I can't read the numbers way down there, so I have to have Pa lay on the floor to read the numbers. He doesn't like to do that, So if he isn't doing that, I got to get binoculars, and they weigh 2 pounds. It's a darn nuisance, but anyway, that Robert Snodgrass from Danube, I don't know where he is, but I think he's got kind of a case on me. I got here a little early. There's that Robert. He keeps following me around, keeps calling me punkin all the time. Finally, I says to him, how come you're calling me punkin anyway? You hardly know me. He said, I think it's because you're big, round, and kind of seedy. Isn't that romantic? And you're never too old for romance. No, siree. I was talking to Gert Barnes, and she said she and Harry had been married quite a few years, and they're still romantic. Gert told me that. In fact, Gert told me quite a few things. Yeah, Gert said, Harry and I are still romantic. We still share a little glass of wine every night before we retire. Now, it was either that, or she said she went to bed every night with a cold duck. I got that right. I hope I got that right. Yeah. But you all look so well, and oh, that's great that you could come and look so tan and nice. Everybody around Pipestone's got the intestinal flu, kind of irpy. But I was talking to Don Robinson from Tecuma. He said that he was sick last week, but he made it. Where are you, Don? Yeah. That's him. Yeah, is he cute? Yeah, he made it. I'm glad you could come, sweetie. Isn't he a darling? Yeah. Well, anyway, he had to go to the doctor. Yes, he had to go to the doctor. Wasn't sure what he had. He said he'd only seen it once before, and then the whole herd had to be destroyed. And I know there's lots of important people here. I hope I get to meet you out in the lobby later. I'd sure like to do that. Of course, Don Oberle, he was bragging about what a big shot he is. Oh, yes, I'm from Norfolk, and I'm with the Navigator Tours. I like that, Don. We got to talking about Christmas, and I was telling him how expensive the toys were for my grandchildren. Oh, golly, he said, Granny, it's a good thing I wasn't a little kid this year. My folks could never have afforded all that battery-operated stuff that you had to get to your kids, grandkids. He said, heck, it used to snow in Norfolk, and I never even got a sled for Christmas. No. He said, I used to have to slide down the hill on my cousin. So now that he thinks about it, she wasn't so bad either. I was thinking another thing that held us up getting out there to Arizona is Edgar, my worrywart son out there at the farm. He called up and he said, Ma, I want to ask you a question. Please get to the lawyer's office before you go, and you and Pa get a will drawn up before you go out there. If anything should happen to you folks, I got no paperwork on this farm. It'll be a big mess. So I said, okay, we'll get down there. Now, I got to tell you one thing. Pa does not like to talk about dying. I mean, I don't know if he will. But I know how to handle him after all these years. So I says, Pa, Edgar wants to meet us at the lawyer's office. They're just going to ask a few questions, so be good. That's what I said. So we get down there, and he gets all antsy, you know. He said, what's the question? What's the question? I said, Pa, if you should die, just if, do you want to be buried or cremated? You know what he said? Surprise me. I said, Pa, if we should go for the cremation business, where would you like your ashes scattered? He said, Catalina Island. Well, I said, why Catalina Island? He said, well, I've never been there before. I've had a busy summer. I'm working, besides tooting around everywhere, I've been working on my 4th cassette tape. A lot of people are asking for it, and it's entitled Granny's Glad That Wrinkles Don't Hurt. And I surely am. And it'll come out next May, I guess it is. I'll probably do the taping out in Arizona. But that tell you, the wrinkle business is quite a business, isn't it? They got to make lots of money, those corporations, figuring out how to get the wrinkles going. One place out in Arizona, they got a big lawsuit over it, I guess, because 80% of the ingredients are preparation H. Yeah, it's